All right, so greetings from Phoenix, Arizona. This is becoming one of my staple cities. It feels like, besides the fact corporate is out of Phoenix, but I seem to be rolling through here a lot. I did roll through a lot of Oklahoma City recently as well. But I'm happy to be back. Again, my buddy Paul lives here, so I actually am going to be kicking it with him again because I do have some time. To kind of sum up, I am riding post Thanksgiving. Pretty stoked that I was able to make it home. I ended up getting a whole 3 days off, a little over 72 hours in the way it all worked out. So I'm pretty stoked on that. I did make it in time for dinner. Again, dinner was at 5. I had a huge goal of making it on time. I rolled up at 4:52, was in the house by about 4:54, and the turkey was ready to be cut. So I am more than thankful for all that. Had a great time visiting my family, seeing my niece Violet, who's going to be 1 year old on the 12th. Her birthday is 12/12. Her birth date is 12/12/12. So she's going to be 1 year old coming up here in less than 2 weeks. So it was great seeing everybody. Um, so where to even start? I I originally, after I got home, I talked to my driver later the next day, and he scheduled me a load going out to El Paso. So I was like, all right, I figured it all out, figured when I needed to leave on Sunday and all that stuff. And then Sunday rolls around, I get another text load offer. Because when I got that load offer from my driver later, I obviously wasn't at the truck, so I, verified it over the phone. He was supposed to have, done his job, and I don't know if someone switched it behind his back or what, but this load got stripped from me. So I was kind of ticked just for the fact that mentally, you think you're getting something, and then you get something else. Then they offered me a load up to Fresno. Fresno, I mean, to El Paso, it's about 750 miles. Fresno is about 250, so I felt I was getting a little gypped on that. But whenever you get anything under 300 miles, you get paid a little bit more. Anything under 250 more, under 200 more, 150, 100, 50, and so I'd at least get a little bit extra. Here's the inconvenient part, yet financially it probably worked out in better. I had a total of 4 stops on one truckload. I have never done that. I had one stop one time when I was with my former teammate Iman. We get to that stop, and turns out they had canceled it, so we didn't even do it. But so I had to do 3 stops plus the final destination. It was all like plumbing fixtures, bathtubs, sinks, a bunch of, I believe, Collier, if I remember right. So it wasn't too great, but you do get about 15 extra dollars per stop. So at least 15 bucks. So I made at least 45 extra dollars. The fact that they were live loads means you could go off duty. I ate some apple pie my mom had made, the last of it for Thanksgiving. I've been watching a lot of American Dad, so just hanging out in the truck. I did help a little bit. I helped a little bit on the third, and then the last one, the guy needed my help for sure, so I had to get the little pallet jack hydraulic thing, and roll them up to the front and let them take them out with the forklift and all that. So I got it all done. I was about a half hour late to the final one. Everything else was pretty streamlined, which meant I was about 45 minutes late to the next pickup, which was going from Fresno to Buckeye, which I just dropped off. Buckeye's a little bit west of Phoenix. The thing was, at my third destination, I accidentally left my hammer because they have load locks, stabilizer bars, like dividing each of the shipments with some big cardboard flats. I even joked to one guy, now you can do some breakdancing on these. It's huge, pretty thick cardboard. And so anyway, so I had to rip these things off. They got like stickies on them and a big wooden bar, so you got to like pry them off. Some came off easily, some were a total bitch. Getting a hammer was pretty dire at some points. So that third one, I definitely had to bust out my own hammer, and what do you know, I left it. So the stops were Tulare, Visalia, Fresno, and then the last one in Fresno as well. So I left it at the second one, excuse me. And so I was like, screw it. I usually would just say, let it go, no big deal, whatever. But I was heading back down that same night. So what did I have him do? Put it in the mailbox, and I got my red hammer back. So it's a pretty nice hammer. It's not a typical wood one. So I at least got it back, and so that all worked out. So pretty stoked on that. And then, geez, I I'm making my way down today. I slept in the truck off the 99. Got up. I actually slept in too long, about 45 minutes, so I had about 10 hours, 51 minutes off for my 10-hour break. No big deal. I knew I was going to be late for this one anyway. It's about 43,000 pounds, so the truck's rolling about 75, so it was a heavy haul. I decided not to go through the Grapevine again coming down. I figured I'd give it a go through like the Bakersfield route, which was still some steep grades, but then you got to go through some towns, some 45-mile zones, some 55s. So I don't think I'll do it again, but at least now I know. And the sun was breaking through right as all that was happening, so it wasn't that bad. But anyway, so I wanted to mention on the last load, the one thing I hate most about this entire job, I figured it out at the beginning, I still believe it, is sweeping. Sweeping, man. Some loads, food grade loads, I had to take it empty to craft, and that's what I just dropped off in Buckeye. It was a craft load, Capri Sun craft, and I absolutely hate freaking sweeping. And so I knew I was gonna have to sweep. So on that last load, like, all the stuff's way in the back for this last load of the trailer. So I just started sweeping. They actually had a broom right around the corner of the entrance to this drop, because none of them were docks. None of them were docks at all, but they were all forklifts. So I started, I'm going, and the forklift guy's waiting for me, and I'm like, you ready? He's like, I'm waiting for you to finish sweeping. I'm like, no, dude, I'm just getting ahead of myself. I want to, time is kind of the essence at this point. So I do all this sweeping, we get it all out, I do another sweep of sweeping, and I give back the broom, and I'm telling you, man, the fact that it's an isolated cell and you're trying to brush it all out, if there's any sort of wind coming in, this stuff's kicking in your face, your sunglasses are covered, you can feel it kicking on your face. The worst part, probably, not the worst part, it might be fun for some people, is the freaking boogers, man. You can tell afterwards what you were doing, because they are brown town. So anyway, got all that done. Woohoo, sweeping. I don't have my own broom. A lot of people don't. It's recommended to have a broom. A push broom's better, but sometimes you need a smaller one for the corners and all that stuff. So I don't have a broom. I thought about going to Walmart just this morning, getting a broom on some of my time off. I'm driving down, I think it was between Bakersfield and like San Bernardino. What do I happen to see on the side of the frickin' road? There's a broom. And I pass it, and I think to myself, is it worth it? Is it worth turning around to go get that broom? And what did I do? I went and got that broom, just because, save myself some money, but also the principle, the fact that I needed a broom. That morning I thought about getting a broom, and then I found a broom on the side of the freeway. What the hell? How does that happen? How? So it was just about a mile down to an exit, to a bridge, went over, went back about 2 miles, went back over, slowed as I approached the area I knew it was at, saw it, put on my flashers, pulled off the highway, grabbed it. Now it's on the back of my truck, and I'm pretty stoked that I have a broom. Not the biggest deal, but it's pretty crazy. The universe gives you what you need sometimes. So anyway, to wrap it up, I finally get to my final destination. It's actually a Walmart distribution center for the Craft Capri Sun load. And I get on my paperwork. I don't have the drop number. I'm sitting here thinking, not this again. So I go in the truck. It is on the destination. Usually the notes are on the origin, but on the destination message, there it was. I got it. I give it to him. He gives me my paperwork, tells me to park in A1. Empty's over there. I'm good to go. I'm on my way. I go up to the truck. I locked it. I locked myself out. But if anyone remembers the video from a few weeks ago when I did the exact same thing, and I was at the SWFT terminal and the guy made me a key, and first the key didn't work, but then I tried a little harder and tweaked it and it worked, and I taped that sucker somewhere hidden on the back of the catwalk area. And what did I do? I busted it out and I got in. And just as I was doing that, some other trucker pulled up and I was like, hey man, I locked myself out. And he looks at me with like disdain. I'm like, but I hid a key for this exact purpose. And I even said, man, I said it. I said, God probably did this for the sake of some point and sometime something's going to happen and I'm going to lose it, or I'm going to lock myself out again. And if I had been stuck at the entrance of the Walmart distribution center, I know for 100% fact I would have had a service failure. So it all worked out. I am now at the Flying J just outside of Phoenix. I don't have to pick up till tomorrow at about 8 a.m. And then I'm doing some local runs down to El Centro, T-Call, and then back to Phoenix, and then on to some other things. So I'm pretty stoked at this point.